When I'm not running an at-home simulation of NAMM so I don't feel like I missed out this year. I like to answer questions that I get on YouTube, so let's get to it. If you click the settings icon on the player window and slow the playback speed down to 0.5, they sound really wasted. I would like to see someone in a YouTube video that wouldn't sound wasted if you change the playback speed to like a fraction of what it's supposed to be. Like, what would you have to sound like to sound normal both at regular playback speed and slowed down? I feel like that's kind of dumb to be like, oh, check it out. Quarter speed, they sound different. Okay, here's a question that many people have but few dare to ask. I want to know if there are any tips you have for drills that can help people who began playing after a long absence. I know the first and second positions, turnarounds, power chords, and stuff like that. So we're not beginners, but we need a push to get better. Is there some advice or formula method drill you can give us to play more musically and not have the dog run outside and lay under the porch when he sees me pick up the guitar? Great question. So basically, it's all about how to get your fingers and your hands back into shape with the coordination and everything. You know what's going on, you have some kind of idea of what you want to do, but you cannot get your hands to cooperate. So let's go over 2 drills for different types of playing. The first one's going to be more kind of like chord singer-songwriter playing, and the other one's just going to be kind of like lead, single note line type deals. Let's start with the chords, right? It can be very difficult just to kind of make one single chord, let alone kind of move all over the place right away. So what I would recommend doing is going through a chord scale so it makes sense musically, and starting with the root note first and then the chord. All right? So if we did the chords in the key of G, we'd start with the G major, then A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp, minor 7 flat 5, G. Okay, so rocking out the D'angelico Deluxe SS today, Rider Green. So the reason that you want to start with the root note first is because it kind of trains that lead finger back into your playing. So no matter how long you've been off, you can hit this note right there, 3rd fret on the low E string, boom, right? So probably one of the things that'll come back to you quickly is being able to play a G chord, right? I think most people could probably handle that. It's the switching and stuff that makes it difficult. So strike the low E string, grab the G chord, strum it, and then go to the A string, because that's the root note for the 2 chord in the key of G, which is A minor. And the nice thing about striking that root note first is it buys the rest of your hand time to get into the position that it needs to get. Right? So the 1 chord is G major, 2 chord A, minor, 3 chord B, minor, 2, 4, 4, 3 on the B string. Don't worry about barring it just yet. You can just get those middle 4. C, major, D, minor, or major, E, minor, F sharp, minor 7 flat 5. Here's one if you don't know this one. Add this to your arsenal. Middle finger, 2nd fret on the low E string. Skip the A string, 2, 2, ring, pinky, D, and G, and then pointer finger, 1 on the B string, and then back. Okay, so doing it this way is really going to kind of help absolutely everything. And the nice thing is, those open strings are going to be a lot of the root notes for, what you're doing, especially like the D major, A minor, and E minor chords. The root note is going to be open, so it's going to buy your hand more time to really kind of get that muscle memory back into where it needs to go, right? And then do it with another key, right? We do the key of C. C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B minor 7 flat 5, C. Okay, so if you're one of the players who just wants to kind of accompany yourself singing or accompany somebody else and kind of play songs with open chords, that's the best way to start, because if you have all the chords in the key of G and the chords in the key of C and you have a capo, then you're going to get back into it without any issues, right? So remember to use that lead finger, hit the root note, have your other fingers kind of gather into those familiar chord shapes, and that's a great way to kind of give yourself a deadline of what you're doing, like for that G to A minor, whatever tempo it's at. Again, I'm kind of speeding through it because I always speed through things on here. But whatever tempo you want to do it at, that's fine. Those open root notes allow you to do that in a chord scale pattern. You can do it whatever you want. You can skip around, just pick, you know, the ones that are easier. A minor to E minor is a great kind of pairing of two chords that is, you know, one of the easier ways to get back into it. But I think going through chords and doing it with some kind of intention and some kind of deadline timing, it doesn't have to be to a metronome, always helps if it is, but just kind of like hitting that root chord will eventually develop a rhythm to kind of bring you back in a musical way, right? Another thing that we can do to kind of like get your fingers moving around a little bit more is to maybe take something from a scale, like a scale pattern, just to, like I said, get those that finger independence back. So what we're gonna do is take something from the A minor scale, okay? It's gonna sound like this. Okay, so it's part of a scale, really, but you're using different fingers across different strings, and we're doing it with a little bit of a swing, okay? So just run over the notes in the entire A minor scale. Just doing it like this: 5, 7, 8 on the low E string, 5, 7, 8 on the A string, 5, 7, 9 on the D string, 5, 7 on the G string, 5, 6, 8 on the B string, 5, 7, 8. So we're really gonna go backwards through those last two strings. And the nice thing about that pattern is it uses every finger that you have. Pinky, ring index, pinky, middle index. So even just there, you're kind of getting that kind of sound that can, you know, is it musical? Whatever. We're just going backwards through a scale, but we're playing it with a little bit of a swing, so it's not as monotonous and robotic as a scale, but you're using all your fingers in a way that isn't just like a kind of drill that doesn't really have any musicality to it. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just, again, a lot of players like to kind of come back to something with music as the intention, right? So we're gonna go backwards through those two strings, and then we're gonna go forward on the G string, 5, 7, 9, and end up on the 7th fret of the D string, which is an A, right? So we kind of go through and end up on an A to kind of give it that, you know, resolution. So we're going to somewhere. If you don't want to reach with that pinky, again, I think the 5th fret is a really good one because that can be challenging for players to kind of do that reach right there. Again, if that's too much, go down to E minor right here. Line your pointer finger up with the 12th fret. Like that, right? So that in combination with getting the chords back in a root note first, then chord is a great way to reintroduce yourself into the magic of guitar playing. You two should not be in the same room together. It turns you into idiots. Not that that's a bad thing. So this is referencing the video I did with my guy Davidas 2 days ago, where we decided we're giving away a couple of our guitars.
First prize is gonna get ORTEGA guitar! Oh my god! Ah!
All you have to do is either cover an Emeryld Ryders song, post it on YouTube. You can do some Star Wars themed fan art of myself, Davidas, or other guests on this channel, or write some fan fiction, and then we're gonna review it all and pick some winners and send out a couple of really nice nylon
ORTEGA guitar!
and a Horse Kick Pro pedal. Again, because of shipping restrictions, it's only US residents only, but that doesn't mean international people can't enjoy the fun and submit some awesome Star Wars themed fan art. Now, again, everyone's on me for the international thing, so I thought that I would just let you know that another company I worked with in the past, Vidami, who makes like a pedal that you can start, stop, pause, and loop YouTube videos with. They're doing a giveaway where you just have to kind of like put your email address in and then you're entered. So I'll link you to that too, because they have, you know, when you're dealing with a company, there's more breadth as far as like where you can actually ship stuff to. So just turn you on to that, guys. Again, I did a video with them way back in the day, but the main giveaway with the guitars is going to be the one with Davidas, so you definitely want to enter that one.
ORTEGA guitars!
You're just stating what you know. That's not teaching anyone. WTF! You know how the old adage goes, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Or if you tell a man what you know about fish, he'll leave in all caps, Madman Salty Blues comment. Possibly the best duet I've seen from you two. Thank you very much. This is on a cover I did with Katie of Wolfpack song, Back Pocket. I really love how that one turned out, so definitely check that out if you missed it, because Katie's such a phenomenal singer, and that's a really fun one to kind of play, even just on acoustic guitar. Also, I taught that one on my Patreon, and I thought that ended up being like a really good teachable song. I know I always be like, oh, check out my Patreon. I don't really go into depth with what's on there, but there's like 100 lessons. There's like 40 some song lessons, which are longer, and you kind of get into like the theory of the songs and not just like kind of how to play these songs. So they're like longer form lessons than generally I post on YouTube. And then there's like a beginner to just like whatever ongoing series of like 40 some kind of like standalone guitar lessons that really cover a lot of stuff. So definitely check that out. It's only $12 a month, and you can quit at any time, so just learn as much as you can in a month, quit it. I don't really care. It's just, it's up there, so check it out. Wow, it's America's budget PewDiePie. Hashtag handsome gentleman. I have no problem with being budget PewDiePie, because I feel like even budget PewDiePie is worth like millions and millions of dollars, so keep that energy coming. Great review. I'm not familiar with the brand, but this looks like a great buy, especially the used one for $275 that I see for sale near me. It sounds better than the Elise's Nitro from what I can tell on the video. So this is on the Donner drum kit video I did. It's like an electric drum kit that is super reasonably priced. And again, I remember that I taught myself how to play drums on like a Roland V-drum kit like 12 to 15 years ago. And that thing was super expensive at the time, and it was probably as good as this Donner one is now for a fraction of the price. So I definitely really think that's a cool deal for that Donner kit if you have any aspirations to play drums. It's not like the perfect kit, you know what I mean? Like the newer Roland V drum stuff that's well over $1,000 is a much tighter sounding kit that doesn't have any cross-talk issues or anything. But Andrea actually has been learning to play drums on that kit, so I've been teaching her on that. And it works great for if you want to like learn something like that. So I definitely think that that's a pretty cool deal. For listening homework this week, I'm going to throw you to a song called Devotion by the Staves. I discovered this on the Spotify folk playlist or whatever. I've been getting a little folksier as I've been ramping up releasing Emeryld Ryders 2, which is coming soon, so stay tuned. I'll have some more stuff on that. So I definitely thought it was a pretty cool song, and I've just been vibing on the folk channel, which is a lot more modern than I suspected it would be on Spotify, which is definitely like a very cool thing. So if you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. Check out the Patreon, and I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.
ORTEGA GUITAR!